Okay. Happy New Year's Eve. Um, Recording and live from my friend Gary and Rachel's spot. I'm staying at their place in Eastlake, which I feel very grateful for. Um, for our practice this morning, um, as we move through the threshold into 2025 and this new year ahead, we're moving into the year of the snake, a year of reflection and transformation. And I think oftentimes in this transition from one year into the next, we can get this sense of obligation and pressure to all of a sudden make these big changes. And I think sometimes when we step into that threshold with these big changes and expectations for ourselves, we can step through that transition in maybe not the most loving and kind way and set ourselves up for I wouldn't say failure, but not success. And so when I navigate from one year to the next in teaching and moving and breathing with students, I always like to offer it as more of a time of reflection to look back and see what we gained, to look back on the previous year and reflect on accomplishments and lessons learned that have been beneficial, moments of joy, and then to carry that with us into the new year and the invitation to release what is no longer serving us, and to frame it as what worked well and what am I hoping to call in, and how can I take what I was taught in this previous year and use that to fuel the transformation and evolution in the next. And so as we start in our meditation, letting it be an opportunity to reflect through a lens of kindness. I was talking to a friend yesterday. She's like, my reflection typically looks like what didn't go well in the previous year. And so again, shifting that and really focusing on what felt really inspiring to you in this past year. What did you accomplish that you're proud of, or maybe that surprised you or showed you a capability that you weren't aware of? Yeah. So we're going to start in our seated meditation. Feel free to sit on a block or a prop, cross-legged, or hero's pose on your shins, whatever feels grounding. And then just take a moment to adjust to your shape and your space. Arriving to the supported place of your yoga practice. And as your eyes fall shut, maybe taking a shrug of your shoulders up, back, and down to open the space of your heart. Hands might rest palms face down on your knees if you're in cross-legged seat or hero's pose. Perhaps you bring your hands to your body, maybe one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. And as you begin to tune into first just the flow of your breath, the natural organic rhythm of inhale in and exhale out. Allow your breath to arrive you completely to this present moment. Noticing the sensations that are currently present in your body. And the stacking of your spine, the rootedness of your sit bones. As you deepen your breath, letting your inhales stretch a little bit wider, allowing your exhales to become a little bit longer. As you gradually deepen your breath, gradually start to go a little bit deeper within heart and mind, inviting a reflection over this past year into your awareness. And as you look back on this previous year, the last 365 days, and just taking note of the moments, the experiences, the events that were successes or accomplishments or lessons that offered you beneficial learning. And as you reflect on these lessons, these accomplishments, so noting what we learned that we'd like to carry with us forward as we move through the threshold into 2025. What piece of wisdom, what lesson would we like to carry with us? As you continue to breathe slow, steady, and deep, and considering and contemplating if there's something you'd like to set aside, release, leave behind, something that you no longer need to hold, a weight you don't need to carry as you step through that threshold. Just giving yourself that permission. And oftentimes, the patterns, habits, experiences that we are hoping to let go of and release aren't necessarily released in a single yoga practice or a single moment or breath. Right? But many moments of just recommitting to that letting go. Let's bring our hands both to heart center, maybe one stacked on top of the other or palms to prayer, Anjali Mudra. And just inviting in all of the transformation that 2025 has to offer us. Embracing the transformation of this new year ahead. And we'll take a deep inhale through the nose, fill your lungs to the top, welcoming that energy in. When you're ready, open mouth, exhale to release, let it go. So we shift into Ujjayi breath. Inhale through your nose. And through your nose, exhale. And taking your time to start to release your posture and shift into your tabletop pose. We'll meet on all fours. And just take a moment to set yourself up, shoulders stacked above your wrists, hips stacked above your knees. Maybe starting just with some free movement here. You can take your hips a little side to side. Maybe drawing some circles with your body. And starting to tune into the intricate details of sensation in your body today. Then feel free to continue on your own, or with your next inhale, we'll find our cow pose. Heart and tailbone will scoop tall to the sky. Think about pulling your ribcage forward. Think about pressing your knees down and forward to stretch your sitting bones back so you're lengthening through your belly. With a breath out, take your time to press and around to your cat pose. Big push away of the earth, offering space at the back of your heart between your shoulder blades. We'll take one more just like this. Slow inhale, heart and tailbone lift tall. A stretch through your belly, maybe slight lift of your chin and gaze. Then exhale, press and curl into your cat pose. Feel your front ribs draw up and in, navel to spine, tailbone tucks. And then we'll inhale to our cow pose one more time. Heart and tailbone find the sky. And staying here as you exhale, shift a little bit forwards and backwards, finding a little rinse through the spine. Take an extra inhale, and then breath out will shift us into cat pose. Same thing as you push and round, shift forwards and backwards. Now we'll find our way into neutral, into our tabletop, and we're going to take our left foot out to the left. So turning your left toes to the left side of the room. So your left foot is perpendicular to the long edge of your yoga mat. Your left foot is about in line with your right knee, maybe a little bit further forward. Begin to flex your left foot. Yeah? And then we're going to start to shift our hips back in space. You can allow your left foot to kind of peel onto the outside edge, the pinky edge of the foot here. Hips shifting back in space. And just finding a little bit of movement here, maybe shifting 2 to 4 inches forwards and backwards. And then shifting your shoulders over your wrists again. We're going to adjust the left foot to extend long. So we're in our extended leg tabletop. Left foot planted to the earth, left leg long in line with your hip. And then again, begin to shift forwards and backwards. This can be as small or as big of a movement as you want. You can always find a sweet spot and pause. Just take one more cycle of breath. And we'll shift back into our tabletop and find the second side. I'm going to flip around just so that you can see again these two actions. So my right foot, I'm going to step it out to the right, kind of like a lunge situation. And my right toes are pointing away from the midline of my body, perpendicular to the long edge of my yoga mat. And then as I flex through my right ankle, I'm going to send my hips back in space. So our right leg is kind of like the setup of a half pigeon, but just to the side. And that flex of the ankle, helping to deepen the stretch. Maybe you feel this also reach into your low back. Maybe a little shift forwards and backwards. And then we'll transition into our extended leg tabletop. Slide forward, adjust your right foot, send it wide, anchor to the 4 corners of your foot, and then send your hips back and forth a little bit here. As you root through the sole of your right foot, feel your inner right thigh light up a little bit, emphasizing that stretch through your right hip, your groin. And we'll again find our way into tabletop pose, and then this time go ahead and step into your high plank. Strong hands, feet step back. And take a big breath as you anchor into your hands and your toes. Think about using your belly strength to press your toes into the earth, the ball mounds of your feet into the ground. Then breath out to downward facing dog. Soften your knees. Send your hips up and back. Start with a slow paddle of one heel towards the earth and then the other. And as you press the ground away, feeling the length of your side bodies extend, take a moment to release and relax your head. Our next inhale is a 3-legged dog. Reach your right leg high to the ceiling. And as you exhale, bend your knee and open your hip, finding a scorpion tail. Think about squaring your shoulders down to the earth, and then reach your right foot way towards the left and pull your right heel in towards your left glute. Feel your glute, your hamstring light up. Take a big inhale. And exhale, we're going lizard lunge. Slow and strong. Push the earth away and step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Good. Left knee will lower. Right toes can continue to point forward, or maybe you angle your right toes to the right a little bit. Deep breath to reach your right hand to the front of the room. Then as you breathe out, swim your right hand back into a twist. If you'd like to add in your quad stretch, bend your left heel towards your seat. Maybe that's a hamstring curl and you flex your left heel towards your glute. Or perhaps your right hand facilitates the stretch, either drawing your left heel in Or maybe you kick your left foot into your right hand to find more of a heart opening. As we spiral sternum to the sky, big twist towards the ceiling, take an inhale. And on our exhale, we're going to release back to a lifted lizard lunge. Right hand to the inside of your right foot, rotate your right toes forward. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Big push away of the earth, strong through your left quad. We're going to go all the way over into a wild thing. So as you push the earth away, lift your right foot up. Like you're going to your side plank, step your right tippy toes all the way up and over. Left leg stays long, wild thing just for one big breath in as you reach. And exhale, we start to find our way back to a three-legged dog. Breath out brings your right hand to the earth. Inhale, reach your right leg high. And exhale, steps your right foot forward between your hands this time. We'll find warrior one. Allow your left heel to rotate down to the ground, finding that about 45-degree angle through your back foot. And slow and strong, press your feet. Inhale to reach and rise up. And with your exhale, right hand's going to catch your left wrist. Find a baby side bend to the right. Think about sliding your elbows back in space. Left heel is grounded. One breath in and one breath out. As we inhale through the midline, we're going to exhale to eagle wrap our left arm underneath our right. Either palms together, or if that's not working for your body, you can always do backs of the hands together or forearms together. We'll inhale, find a little lift of your elbows, slight little back bend. On your exhale, tip forward any amount. This can be 2 inches, or you can go really, really low. Still early in practice, still warming up the body. With a breath in, we press through our feet, light up our core, and rise all the way up with our eagle arms. And then use your exhale to unravel goddess arms. Really press your elbows wide and back. Deep breath in, hands reach to the sky. Exhale, warrior two, adjust your feet. We'll inhale here. And your exhale, just settle. Okay, squaring your heart to the long edge of your yoga mat. Take your gaze out over your right fingertips. And with a breath in, reverse your triangle. Lengthen your right leg. Sweep your right hand up and back. Your shoulders soften away from your ears here. Now we're going to keep this reach of the upper body. Everything's going to stay the same. Just turn your right toes to the long edge of your yoga mat so all 10 toes are facing the same direction. Moving into a side bend, or rather a side lunge with a twist, we're going to bend into our left knee. Right hand's coming to the earth, left hand to the sky. Your heart's turning towards your bent left knee. And press your hips back. Use your right hand as leverage for that rotation. Take an inhale. Low lunge to the back of your yoga mat as you exhale. All 10 toes pivot. Right knee comes to a hover just for a moment. Cow lunge, deep breath in. And just for a moment, exhale to your cat lunge, your hamstring stretch. And start to bend into your left knee. So you're in your strong low lunge. Right knee is lifted, left knee is bent. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lean into your left foot, Shiva squat. Tuck your right knee behind your left. Right heel's tucked up and in. Standing splits just for a moment, nice and gentle. Left knee can be bent. Take an inhale. And exhale, we'll bend both of our knees to find our chair pose, Utkatasana. Okay, feet to the earth, bend through your knees, get low through your seat, and then press into your feet to inhale, heart and hands up high. On your exhale, as you continue to breathe here, find a little up and down action, maybe again 2 to 4 inches. Just exploring the space, finding that sweet spot for your body in this moment. Then hands will find heart center. And left foot's going to stay on the ground, come to your right tippy toes. As you're ready, you're going to rise up just enough to find a figure 4, right ankle on your left thigh. Flex your right ankle really actively, then stretch your sitting bones back and down. Now to deepen our stretch here, Notice if your spine is rounding. That's going to actually take away from your hip opening. So even if that means your torso is a little bit higher up, think neutral spine, a little bit of a cow spine action. Slight untucking of the tailbone. Still engaged to the belly, so we're not dumping into the low back, but proud chest. And then think about your belly going towards your right shin bone. So instead of rounding your heart forward, think belly goes forward and down. Okay, with an inhale, we'll rise up with our right leg one-legged mountain pose, reach tall. As you exhale, step your right foot to meet your left. Soften your knees and forward fold. Big breath in to lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Then as you exhale, planting through your hand, step your right foot to the back of your yoga mat. So left foot is forward, right foot is back. As you push the earth away, three-legged dog, left leg lifts up high, take an inhale. Squaring through your shoulders, exhale to bend your left knee, open your hip, access the strength, the power of your left glute. Core is strong. Can you find equal weight through both of your hands? Again, think about kicking your left foot to the right side of the room, and then pull your left heel in for one more inhale. Lizard lunge, push the earth away. Go slow and take your time in the transition. Left foot to the outside of your left hand. Release your right knee to the earth. Feel free to adjust the angle of your left toes to your individual body, and then breathe your left hand forward, big reach. As we breathe out, we'll find our twist. Swim your left hand back, twist your heart open, and then decide the variation that feels good for you. So maybe you add in a hamstring curl, or maybe your left hand grabs your right foot. And again, you have two actions to work with here. You can pull your heel in, or you can kick into your hand. And if you're kicking into your hand, just be mindful that you're using your shoulder blades to press your heart forward in the opposite direction. Okay, from here, lifted lizard lunge, left hand to the inside of your left foot. As your left toes turn forward, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Now make sure your right quad is powerful here. Push through your hands. Like you're moving through a side plank, wild thing. Step your left toes all the way up and over. Right leg stays long. You're just pivoting on the outside edge of your right foot. You offer your heart to the ceiling. Take an inhale, reach through your left fingertips. Slow through this transition, exhale towards your three-legged dog. So breath out, left hand comes to the earth. Breath in, left leg lifts to the sky. On your next exhale, place your left foot forward. Make the adjustments for your warrior one through your feet. And as you're ready, root to rise, big breath in brings us all the way up. And exhale, shoulders out of ears. Your left hand's going to catch your right wrist. Take a little side bend to the left. Chin off chest, elbows sweeping back in space. Open through your shoulders. And as we come back to the center line, we're going to eagle wrap right arm underneath our left. Think about sliding your hands away from your face and then maintain that distance. Inhale to your back bend, just a little lift of your heart and elbows, doesn't have to be much. Exhale, tip forward. Again, this can be 2 inches, or you can go all the way down. Making sure that if we choose to go down, we're really mindful on our way back up. Ignite your legs, ignite your core for support, and then use your inhalation root to rise with your eagle arms. Exhale takes us through our goddess arms. Press the backs of your hands, your elbows to the wall behind you as you open. And then inhale, reach it tall. Virabhadrasana 2. As you exhale, you'll likely adjust your feet a little bit. So just kind of heel toe your feet into your warrior 2 position. Good. Power and energy through our back leg. Feel your right quad nice and active, right heel rooted. And then noticing what's happening through the upper body here. Can we square our shoulders to that long edge of our yoga mat and then look over our left fingertips. Reaching energy equally through both hands. Inhale to reverse your triangle, lengthen up and back. On our exhale, all 10 toes turn to the long edge of our yoga mat. Side lunge and twist, bend your right knee. Switching your hands, left hand goes low, right hand reaches high. Think inhale, extend from crown to tailbone. Feel your waistline lengthen, and then exhale to rinse and rotate around. Okay, from here, we turn to our right, low lunge to the front of our yoga mat. You'll be framing your right foot this time. Our first inhale is a cow lunge, left knee sinks low, open your chest. Our exhale is a hamstring stretch, any amount of length through your legs. We're just here for a breath out. And then strong bend into your right knee. You're going to lean into your right leg. Shiva squat, left knee tucks behind. Good. Drive through your right foot. Really gentle standing splits. Left leg to the sky with a breath in. Maybe your right knee has a bend in it. Maybe it's a pretty generous bend. All is good. Chair pose, exhale. And again, build it from the earth up. So get strong through your feet, low through your hips, using your glutes and core. Inhale to reach through your fingertips. Now as we exhale, let's bring hands to heart for a second. Notice what happens if we shift our sitting bones back. But think about pressing down to the ball mounds at your feet to find just the slightest tuck of your pelvis. So this isn't an over tuck, but we're thinking about pressing through the ball mounds of the feet to draw the low belly in. Maybe you feel the base of your booty cheeks light up a little bit more. Okay, right foot's going to be our base. Come to left tippy toes. Rising up just enough to find your figure four. Flex your left ankle as you stack left ankle on right thigh. And making this an active shape, we're going to kick our left shin bone into our right thigh. So think about using the power of your left leg to kick into that contact point. And again, if you're choosing to go forward for depth, make sure your chest is proud. You're hinging at your hip creases instead of rounding through the spine. Can we come back to breath here? Slow Ujjayi, inhale through the nose. Ujjayi, exhale through the nose. Maintaining that focus point through your gaze. One-legged mountain, big breath in. Follow your inhale to rise up with your left knee, reach tall. And exhale, we're headed to a forward fold. Left foot meets your right. Soften your knees and hinge down. At the bottom, find a halfway lift, big breath in. And this time, just exhale to your forward fold. Soft knees, heavy head. Switch your hips left to right, side to side for a moment. And we'll start to build our way into our second layer. So inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders out of ears. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot stays forward. Step your left foot to the back of your yoga mat. As you plant through your palms, slow and strong from your core, three-legged dog. Reach your right leg high with an inhale. Shoulders stay square. Bend your knee. Open your hip as you exhale. Feel the power of your right seat. Take a nice big breath in. Lifted lizard lunge. Slow and strong in transition. Right foot to the outside of your right hand. We're going to keep our back knee lifted this time. On your inhale, reach your right hand forward. Left leg is strong. Exhale, find your twist. Right hand sweeps back. Breath in, collarbones wide. Breath out to bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Now, an extra option here. If you want to, you can find a half crow. Think about first pushing into your feet. Lift your hips up in line with your spine. You want to make sure your left thigh is super ignited. From there, for your half crow, right knee is going to hug into your outer right arm, and you pluck your right foot up off the earth. To our wild thing, just like before, from your core, big push as you step your right toes up and over. Breath in, rotate your chest to the sky. Exhale takes us back towards our three-legged dog, right hand to the earth. In breath reaches your right toes to the ceiling. Breath out, step your right foot forward between your hands. Warrior one, adjust your feet as needed. Then use your in-breath, your strong body root to rise. We're going to right away go into our eagle arm. So with breath out, left arm eagle wraps underneath your right. Finding a pulse this time, inhale, elbows scoop up. Exhale, tip forward any amount. Good. Inhale, eagle arms to the sky, drive through your strong legs. Exhale, tip forward any amount. This time, inhale, rise tall. Exhale, goddess arms. Breath in, reach your hands to the ceiling. Breath out, warrior two, Virabhadrasana to adjust your feet. Reverse your triangle as you inhale, lengthen up and back. Rotate your right toes to the long edge. With exhale, side lunge and twist. Bend your left knee. Right hand to the earth, the left hand to the sky. We're going to do this a little bit differently this time. So your legs are going to stay the same. Get strong through your core, strong through your lower body. We're going to start to turn our sternum down to the earth, and then capital T your arms. Good. Squeeze through your shoulder blades, feel your upper back strong. Inhale, star pose, push down, core is supporting as you rise and reach. Exhale, warrior two to the back. Your left knee's gonna bend as your left toes pivot to the short edge of your yoga mat. Reach forward with your left fingertips as you inhale. Low lunge, so we windmill down. You're gonna rotate onto your right to be toes with your exhale. Lean into your left foot, so shift over your left foot. Shiva squat, tuck your right knee behind. Breath in, standing splits, lengthen. Invitation to pulse, exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, Shiva squat. This time, inhale, standing splits. Exhale, Utkatasana chair pose, bend through your knees, arrive into your seat. Squeezing maybe with your inner thighs if your legs are connected, right? Finding the chair that works for you. Hands arrive to heart center. We're going to change this a little bit. So our right foot is actually going to be our base to begin. Come to left tippy toes. As you're ready, figure four, left ankle on your right thigh. Actively flex your left ankle as you find your one-legged chair. If you'd like to stay here, work here, perfect. If you'd like to incorporate your eagle arms, eagle wrap your left arm underneath your right. And think about hands away from face, take a breath. Now, if you've added in your eagle arms for that added balance challenge, we're going to keep our eagle arms through the next little piece. Just like we did before, we're headed to a one-legged mountain. So strong inhale, root to rise with your left knee, maybe keeping your eagle arms. As we exhale, left foot meets your right. Maybe keep the eagle arms, soften your knees, hinge forward through the forward fold. At the bottom, unravel your arms. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, we'll step our right foot to the back of our yoga mat. Good. You're in a low lunge. Left foot is forward, right foot is back, planting through your hands. Inhale is three-legged dog. Lift your left leg to the sky. In your exhalation, bend your knee, open your hip, maintain square through your shoulders. Maybe peek underneath your right armpit to help with that. Take an inhale. Lizard lunge, slow motion, push the earth away. Your left glute is strong through that transition to help get your left foot forward. Rooting through your right hand, reach your left hand to the front, breath in, preparing to twist. Exhale, left hand sweeps back, heart towards the ceiling, big rotation through your thoracic spine. Give it one more in-breath. Left hand to the inside of your left foot, lifted lizard lunge. So an invitation for your half crow here. If you are sinking your hips down, this isn't going to work. So think about pressing through your feet, lift your hips up. Right thigh, your right quad is powerful. Then left knee hugs your left tricep, half crow. Going all the way up and over, super slow, wild thing. Left foot steps to the right. Heart to the sky, right leg is long, take a big reach. Three-legged dog, land your left hand as you exhale. Use your in-breath to support the lift of your left leg. Your out-breath is going to place your left foot forward to the front. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, as you root through your feet. Inhale to rise tall. Your exhale is eagle arms, right arm underneath your left. Once you find your eagle arms, breath in, scoop your elbows, your heart to the sky, hands away from face. Exhale, tip forward a little bit or a lot. You can always stay here. And we'll find a pulse. Inhale, eagle arms lift up, big push through your legs, core is supporting. Exhale, tip forward, humble warrior, eagle arms. This time we inhale to rise tall, last time through to lift. Exhale, find your goddess arms, really press your chest open. Here you go, hands reach high with your inhale. Warrior 2, adjust your feet as you exhale, left knee still bent. Reverse your triangle, breathe length through your left side. Moving to our side lunge and twist, turn your left toes forward. Bend your right knee, left hand to the earth or right hand to the ceiling. Big breath in. Now legs stay as they are as you exhale, turning your sternum square to the earth, spread your wings wide to that capital T shape. Press the backs of your hands up, shoulder blades squeeze together, upper back strong, star pose, inhale, root to rise. Exhale, warrior to the front, right toes turn, right knee bends. Reach forward through your right fingertips as you inhale, lengthen. Windmill into your low lunge as you exhale, you're turning on to left toes. Now for this transition, shift your weight forward, forward, forward over your right foot. Shiva squat, left knee tucks behind. With our pulse, it's an inhale towards your standing splits. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, Shiva squat. Good. This time, inhale, standing splits. Exhale, chair pose. Place your left foot down. Both knees bend along the way. Last chair. Inhale brings you up. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, left foot is going to be our base, right to be toes. As you're ready for your figure 4, right ankle is going to flex and stack, and then start to explore your depth. So again, we have the height of our seat. We also have the hinge of our torso to work with. Okay, you might not have a mirror or anything, but you can always bring your hands to your low back. Just notice if your spine is rounding. Think front ribs. So your low front ribs are pulling forward. Chest is proud, and then we're going forward from there. If the eagle arm challenge is interesting to you, it's going to be right arm underneath your left this time. Create that separation between your hands and face. Shoulders drawing gently away from the ears. Take a breath. If you'd like to add the challenge to the transition, keep your eagle arms with an in-breath. Bring your right leg with you to stand. One-legged mountain with eagle arms. Maybe keeping the eagle arms, exhale, right foot joins your left. Maybe scoop your elbows high as you take a breath in. Soften your knees, hinge forward with your arms as you breathe out. Then unwind your arms, let everything go. Little half lift as we inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Okay, from here, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Plant your hands and step your feet back. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale, feel your front line engage. Can you draw front ribs in, navel to spine, thighs light up? Add a little bit of engagement of your seat, base of your glutes towards your hamstrings. Keeping all that strength and engagement, try to maintain the distance between shoulders and ears, and then inhale, shift forward to your tippy toes. Exhale, slow motion to your belly. Stretch your elbows actively back. Crown of the head reaches actively forward as you lower. When you arrive to the earth, untuck your toes. Zip your legs up a little bit closer together, tops of the feet ground. Press your toenails, so toenails into the earth. As your kneecaps float, thighs engage. Take an inhale, low cobra. Now as you exhale, elbows are going to reach back into the midline. Lengthen through the nape of your neck. 2 cycles of breath, building strength through the backs of our bodies. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, forehead to the earth. Bend a breath here to reset. If you want to, you can always bend your knees and add a little windshield wiper. And we'll send our legs long again. Same setup through the lower body. We're going to add a little variation through the upper body here. Starting in our low cobra, we inhale. On exhale, navel to spine, start to find your goddess arms. Think about pressing the backs of your hands up to the ceiling. Upper arm bones lift to the sky. 1 more cycle of breath as we squeeze at the back of the heart and along the length of the spine. And when you're ready to release, forehead to the earth, let it go. Maybe stack your hands to create a pillow for your forehead. In breath here. And an out breath here. Okay, shifting onto our forearms, we're going to move through a Sphinx pose towards a little hip opening moment. So shoulders are stacked over your wrists, or rather your elbows. Wrists are in line with your elbows, Sphinx. You have this nice number 11 through the forearms. So you push the earth away, proud chest, collarbones wide. Now we're going to slide our left knee out to the left, so we're in a half frog position. Excuse me. And this might feel good to be right here. A couple other options are you can take your elbows wide and again rest into that belly down Savasana shape through your upper half. And then whether you are low on the earth or you're in that Sphinx pose position, if you wanted to, you could bend your right heel to your seat. And then if you're in the Sphinx pose, I typically angle my right arm. So I'm going to angle my right arm so my right fingertips are pointing towards the front left corner of my yoga mat. Yeah. So across my chest space. And I'll reach back with my left hand to add in the quad stretch. Making sure that if you're choosing this, that your low back isn't taking on this pressure, right? So think heaviness to the tailbone here, heaviness to the pelvis, concentrating the stretch into your quad. And again, you can do this if you're in the belly down Shavasana variation as well. And that's going to be a little more spacious for your low back. Good. 1 more round of breath. Now, if you have your right heel pulled into your seat for the quad stretch, just send your right leg long. Moving through our Sphinx pose, if you're in the belly down Shavasana variation, you can stay with your belly down Shavasana through your upper body. Just send your left leg long. Okay. Take a second, take a moment, and moving into second side. We're going to find that half frog position. Right knee goes out to the right. Now your right hip might feel really different than the first. I know my right hip is usually my moody hip, so Always takes a second to adjust. Ooh, maybe you get a pop. And then, again, you can stay here on your forearms or elbows wide, rest your forehead to the backs of your hands like a belly down Savasana. And key is that we're listening to the low back for this. If it feels okay to be on your forearms, perfect. Maybe add in your quad stretch. This is just an option. Then if you're on your forearms, again, you might rotate. So left elbow just stays underneath your left shoulder. So we have the upper arm bone supporting us. You're going to rotate so your left fingertips are pointing to the front right corner of your yoga mat. Left forearm is a diagonal across the center line of your body. From there, you swim your right hand back, kind of like we did in our lizard lunges. You can catch your foot. Again, I want to make sure that my low back is clear. So as I push through my left forearm, I can actually lift my hips away from the earth and pressing through my right knee, tucking through my tailbone, or hips can stay grounded. Again, monitoring that sensation through your low back and your left quad. Continue to push your left forearm so our left shoulder is nice and spacious from the left ear. We're not dumping down. We're nice and actively pushing away. Just invite one more cycle of breath through your body. When you're ready to release, send your left leg long, unwind to center. Let's all find a belly down Shavasana. Forehead resting to the backs of your hands. Option to windshield wiper your knees, your feet side to side. And send your legs long as you're ready. Hands come to frame your rib cage. Press back to your child's pose. Shift your hips to your heels and adjust your knees as wide as you want them to be. Take a moment to offer length into the back of your body. Feel your sternum melting towards your yoga mat. Maybe an inhale through your nose. Maybe open mouth, exhale, let it go. Slowly start to push the earth away. Crawl your way up through a seat. And then we'll shift forward so we have enough room to lay backwards. Maybe grab a sip of water if you're thirsty. And then just finding a little bit of core cultivation along the way. We'll start with our heel anchor, so knees bent, heels grounded. And we're going to sit up as tall as we can. Now think about the height of your spine, the lift of your good posture coming from your strong center, your core. Hands reach to the sky. Then we're going to be doing this like pull, lean, and twist action. So it's going to be like we're pulling a rope, yeah? Take a nice big breath in. Now as we exhale, we're going to be twisting to the left first. So left hand's going to pull. You might lean back a little bit as you pull and twist to the left. Look towards the back left corner of your yoga mat. Core is super strong. Inhale, rise up tall, reach your left hand high through center. Sit as tall as you can with your core strength. And exhale, take it to the right. Bending through your right elbow like you're pulling a rope to the back right corner of your yoga mat. Look back. Front ribs stay knit, navel to spine. And inhale through center, rise up, reach up, sit up super tall. Again to the left, heels anchor, left elbow bends. We pull back, we look back. Front ribs are knitting. Inhale, rise to center, reach as tall as you can. Exhale to the right. But inhale, center. This time as we exhale, we're going to lower all the way to the earth. Go slow, take your time. Feel all that engagement through your center. As your core delivers you to your back body, extend into a full body stretch. Big breath in. And then exhale, gathers your knees to your chest. Hands to the fronts of your knees. Let your knees fall wide into your happy baby variation. If you really love having your hands to your ankles or your feet, feel free to go there as well. And then just breathing through your nose. Ujjayi pranayama lights up again. And we're going to keep our knees bent. Place your feet to the earth. The Supta Baddha Konasana, so your supine butterfly. Soles of your feet come together to kiss. Your knees are going to fall wide like a book. Option 1 is to stay right here. Just allowing gravity to help encourage openness through your hips. This big external rotation. Option 2 is to find your butterfly bridge. As you press the soles of your feet together, you're also going to push down through the pinky edges of your feet and to find a lift through your hips. Now this could be a really, really little lift. My hips are going to be like 2-3 inches off the ground, like it's not big. I'm squeezing through my seat. Just finding that engagement through my glute medius. Maybe inner thighs light up. And find 2 more rounds of breath, whatever variation you're in. If your hips are lifted, take your time to deliver your hips back to the earth. We'll all meet in Supta Baddha Konasana, the stretch, releasing any engagement through the body for a breath. I'm just going to adjust to a bridge setup. So soles of the feet to the earth, knees point to the sky. Hips will stay grounded. Eagle stack your right thigh on top of your left. This can just be the cross of your thighs. You don't have to tuck your right toes behind your left ankle unless that feels good. Take an inhale, and then knees fall to the left as we exhale. Maybe your gaze tips over your right shoulder. You can also use your left hand on your outer right thigh to facilitate your twist. Take 2 cycles of breath. Keeping it nice and simple. As you're ready, an inhale brings you back to center. Just place your right foot to the earth. If you want to take a little windshield wiper moment, you can tick-tock your knees side to side. And then eventually left thigh eagle stacks on top of your right. Knees are tipping towards the right side of the room. Maybe your gaze and your chin tip over your left shoulder. Feeling that rinse, that rotation up the entire length of your spine from tailbone to crown. 2 rounds of breath. And just moving at the pace that feels good for you. There's no rush. As you bring it back to center, unwind your legs. Gather your knees to your heart. Maybe curl forehead towards your knees. Try to maintain all that space between shoulders and ears as you tuck your chin to chest. Take a deep inhale. And use your exhale to find your way towards Savasana. Release your arms and your legs long. Feel your entire body rest and release into the support of the earth beneath you. And once you start to settle, maybe take an inhale through your nose and an open mouth exhale just to let go. As you rest and as you sink into the earth and inviting that lens of reflection to move across your awareness as you look back on this past year. Reflecting on moments of success, moments of accomplishment, moments of lessons learned, and all that you gained from these last 365 days. Noting moments that maybe you're surprised at your strength or capability. As you reflect on these moments of accomplishment and success, the qualities that we'd like to carry with us into 2025. We also invite that sense of release for anything we'd like to set aside, anything that holds us back, blocks us from the life that we truly want to live, maybe disconnects us from the best versions of ourselves. Allowing that to fade into the background, dissolving with your next exhale. Again, a piece of a process, but allowing your practice to support that process. Even if it's just one step along that path. As we move across the threshold into 2025, we move with the open arms to receive the transformation, evolution that is waiting for us. And a willingness to clear away that which doesn't serve us. So hands may be finding heart center. Gather a breath in through your nose. Whenever you're ready, open mouth exhale, let that breath go. May yoga offer us a path to compassion. And may our practices always serve as our teachers, leading us to live with greater and greater authenticity and to love more deeply each and every day. Thank you so much for showing up for this last practice of 2024, and namaste.